I've written here a short program to multiply two numbers in a very inefficient way. We do that by essentially adding a single number n times till we're done. So here we have m times n equals n plus, rather, m plus m plus m plus n times. So let's look at how this would be written. We're going to load immediate in register A0. As you may recall, the MIPS registers are given names. So register A0 is register 4. So register 4 is loaded with the value 5, and register 5 is loaded with the value 4. I guess that's a bit confusing, but there we go. We will have m equals 5 be the multiplicand, and the multiplier, n equals 4, will serve as our loop counter to help us count how many times. Now we're going to start by initializing a result value to 0. So register V0 is register 2, just for reference, but we don't need to worry about that. Everything with a pound sign here is a comment. So the actual code is just these three. Now notice each one of these commands is going to compile to a single 32-bit number. Let's do a quick count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a total of 24 bytes. This code is a lot shorter than most programs that you see. All right, so we've initialized the product to 0. Now we enter the loop. We're going to add the product m, which is an A0. We'll decrease n, which is an A1. And finally we check to see if A1 is equal to 0. If it's not equal to 0, we branch back up to multiply loop. And when we're all done, the final product, 20, will be stored in register V0. There's our assembly code. So I entered this into a compiler, and this is what it gave me. It loaded it into memory, and you can see that the memory locations given here in hex are 4 apart. So the last 2 digits are 24, then 28, then 2C. 2C would be, C is 12, so when we add 4 to that we get 16, which carries over to the next digit, giving us a 30, 34, and 38. So there's our code. Also, the code that we have above is shown over here on the right, but it looks a little bit different here in the middle. The first thing you'll notice in the middle is that the load immediates have now taken on a different name. They're OR immediate. ORing something with like register 4, or rather the target is register 4, and we're ORing the 0 register, which always contains 0, as you can see there. So ORing 5 with a 0 will give us 5, and we put that result into 4. Why did it do this? Well, load immediate and OR immediate with a 0 register gives you the same result. And so rather than have multiple commands that do the same thing, they allow the assembly language to actually have more commands than is necessary. But what's really going on is this is an OR immediate, and it has the same effect. Okay, so we have these 2 OR functions, actually 3, to set up the values of register 4, 5, and 2, as we previously noticed, with the values 5, 4, and 0 respectively. The main loop is the second three commands. In this one, we add our multiplicand to the product, and we decrease or decrement n, and then we check to see if it's 0, and we branch. It says branch not equal 5, 0, so if it's not equal to 0 yet, we branch -8. Now you might remember that back here I gave an example of some branch circuitry. There are actually many ways it can be done. Looking at this, it's clear that we have something else going on. Mainly that this MIPS architecture has the program counter coming into here, and we either add the branch offset to it after sign extending, which I'm not showing, or we add 4 to it. That's a little bit more efficient. I've seen it both ways. The reason for having it the other way will become apparent if you go on and study more computer architecture. Since we're dealing with a single cycle data path, this is more efficient. If you have a multi-cycle data path or pipelined data path, it may be more efficient to do the other approach for reasons that will become apparent later. But for now, let's look at this then. The current program counter is 004,000,38. We subtract 8, and that now puts the program counter up here at the beginning of the loop. So that goes there until the code is finished running. Also, let's take a look at the opcodes in as much as we can. Remember, the opcode is 6 bits. So to explore that, let's just examine these for a moment. 3404 in binary is going to be 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Okay, now we can divide that up. The first 6 bits are going to be the opcode. That stands for OR immediate. The next 5 bits gives us a register, and those bits give us another register, and then at the end of this we had 5 hex. So this 5 corresponds to that 5. This 0 corresponds to register 0, and this 4 corresponds to register 4. So we can see the 4, 5, and the 2, and the 3 instructions that I've boxed correspond to the target register of 4, 5, and 2 respectively. Add, on the other hand, is going to have an opcode of 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Add immediate, on the other hand, will have 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and so on and so forth, and the branch. So the immediate value of -1 we can see right here, and the immediate value of -8. Now that doesn't look like -8, so what's going on? So -8 should be, well, let's start with 8. 8 is this. So -8 is going to be 0, 0, 0. I use the trick of starting at the right, copying down the zeros till you hit your first one, and after the first one, then you invert everything. We can see that this is the correct answer by doing it the long way around. Inverting, adding 1, that gives us a 0 with a carry, and there's the 1, and then everything else just comes straight down. So that works. All right, yet the value was FE. But remember that we ignore the last 2 bits, because this is going to be the offset in words, 32-bit words, not the offset in bytes. So actually, this value works out to be -2, meaning it goes 2 instructions backwards. So now we have a very inefficient multiplier. I will say that when I had my first programming job, I was working with a small processor that did not have a multiplier on it, and we had to write our own multiplier. This is not the way to do a multiplier because it could take a very long time to do it. Instead, we do it by shifting and adding. And that way, instead of having a loop that could be thousands of iterations, you're limited to looping through the number of bits in your variable.